What is going on, family? It's Kanan Bodley, the founder and creator of Bhouse. I know you guys are probably like, what does everybody else do? Well, everybody else is research and design, while I screen print. I design some stuff. I run it by them because, it's about our family and our culture as athletes, being brothers. But it's not about family. It's not about Bhouse right now. We are interviewing a pro player, one of the greatest to touch the games. Latrell Harris. If you don't know who he is, shame on you. The dude is a legend. He was drafted at 18 to the NLL, and then just recently last year got pulled out of the playing pool to be player for the Archers. I know I said it like that, like a Neanderthal, but I did, and I'm not running it back. But he plays for the Toronto Rock, and the dude is a madman. I don't know if you're watching any of the previous games, but here's one of his recent goals.
Best of the best. And we're seeing it on display week in and week out. Archers are just feeling it right now. Every pass is right on the money.
But I'm not going to ramble on forever because I want to get to this interview. But without further ado, Latrell Harris. Latrell, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what has your team been doing leading up to the All-Star game and playoffs so far?
Yeah, so obviously we're all amongst different places, so it's kind of tough to meet up as a team. But we've been a couple Zoom calls, as a team, and then we break up and have offensive calls, defensive calls, face-off unit calls. So we're keeping in touch that way. But other than that, I just think everyone's individually just keeping busy, keeping moving, whether it's taking shots, working out, going for walks or runs, just keeping the body in game shape. And yeah, obviously we had a couple guys selected for the All-Star game, so they're going to go and represent the Archers real well there. And then we get right back at it on July 24th. I believe it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
We play the game.
Who was selected from your team for the All-Star game?
Yeah, Graham Hosick, Tom Schreiber, Will Manny, Marcus Holman. I think I'm missing one guy. I'm missing one more.
We'll tag him in later on. I think every player in the country can relate to reaching out to your teammates in downtime or off season. If you aren't doing that, you're not really trying to get the best potential out of your teammates. If you hold them to a higher standard out of season, them during season is going to be a whole entire different level, and it's going to sharpen you. It's going to make you better. But at the same time, we did catch the All-Star game. Great guys, going back and forth. We had Ratcliffe going for the Archers as well, and Matt Moore. But without further ado, back to the interview.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference from year one to now, from being drafted last year to this year?
Absolutely. I think my confidence, obviously, going into the PL in my first year is kind of the short stick defensive midfield is a new position for me. So it was a big learning period for me. Spacing on the field is obviously way bigger than it is in box. So coming into my second year, I've kind of understood short stick's got to get out a little bit more and try and get a jam to the midi, my spacing, all the slide packages and all the packages that we have, a little bit more confident, more talkative, and yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you were 18 when you were drafted too, so what was that like being literally just barely a legal adult on the road with all the grown men, traveling? What was that experience like,
Honestly, it was quite wild. It was so cool. Like, it never really been on the road, like other than for junior A, which is a box league we have down here in Canada. But being one of the older ones, you kind of, we would just be traveling to games and then coming right back home. We weren't traveling and then having some time with the boys after games to do whatever. But it was really cool. I don't know. I like being one of the younger guys and listening to the vets, getting advice, just learning off and being a sponge, soaking everything in. And now I'm 24, going into my sixth season, I believe. And with the indoor league, and it's just crazy. I feel all the advice that I had gotten from my vets is now carrying into my play, and it's helped me out tremendously. So appreciated them.
Absolutely. I mean, you always have been the youngest guy on the team, even the Canadian national team. You were one of the youngest guys right underneath your cousin as well, Tyson Bell. So what was that experience like, playing with all the elite Canadian guys, that you read about and watch about when you're growing up in Ontario?
Yeah, it was really cool to be teammates with them. Usually you're just hearing about them on social media or seeing their highlights on social media, but now you're playing with them, seeing their highlights in person in real time. Like, really cool, man. I don't know. You don't get a lot of these chances, so when you do get them, you just really dial in and live it up. And yeah, it was blessed to have that opportunity.
Probably an indescribable feeling for sure. So besides the Archers and besides the Rock, because I don't want to pin you against your teammates, what's been the favorite team that you played for so far?
Damn. I'm gonna go with my high school football team. Those are the boys I grew up with. We had a real good time. We were real good. We're all real close too. So that was a real close unit group. I think my hockey team, my last year of hockey, we have played together from we were mad young all the way up till we were in grade 10, so 15, 16. And we all knew that was our last time playing together, so we just had one hell of a year, and the vibes were immaculate. Involved. It was a good year overall.
Yeah, man. I mean, it always is a good year, your last year. As a senior, you always everybody has to put it on the last go ahead. But yeah. Also, what was it like playing with Tyson Bell in the Canadian League, playing against him in the PLO and in the NLO? What has that like been so far?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like just doing it for the family. Representing our family wherever we go, and when we play against each other, we get to have the whole family come down. It's always a big event when we play against each other, and hopefully one day we'll get to play with each other. I think it'll be less stressful on the family, deciding who to cheer for and whatnot. But we're that moment will come, and it'll be great. It'll be great.
I don't know if you guys heard what that man just said, but he switched to short stick and field, like against professionals that have been playing field for years. Yes, he's been playing box, and it's a lot easier to go from box to field than from field to box, but he made that quick switch like that. Like, he was playing in professional NLL for a couple years before he got drafted. He just got pulled into out of the player pool last year by the Archers. So the past 2 years has been literally him learning and playing, and he's been playing at a very high level. He's playing with veterans that he went from watching, on TV, watching in games, to playing and communicating and even holding them to a standard on the field. The dude's a madman, and that just shows his ability to grow and to see the game as it happens before him. As a player, we all want to be able to see that game as it comes in like that. To be able to perceive it as fast as it's coming at us. But it only comes with the reps, mental reps, physical reps. You got to get out there and actually go about it. He said he's played against his cousin Tyson Bell a couple of times, and he also played with him in the Canadian League, which is very cool. But personally, I literally have never played I've never played a college game without my brothers. So it's different for me to imagine. All right, I only have 3 more questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up. Game day routine. I know you guys have an assigned game day. You have breakfast and everything, but outside of that, what do you typically do to get you ready for games?
Yeah, nothing too special, to be honest. If we have light shoot around, then we'll go to shoot around. We'll come back. I'll probably try and get a water or 2 in me. I'm a big candy guy, so depending on what time it is, I might have some candy, and then usually go for a nap. Try and get a hour, 2-hour nap in, and then get going. In the indoor game, my roommate is Challen Rogers, captain of the Toronto Rock. We always bring a little speaker, so we get some good music going in the room. Bust out a couple dance moves. Okay. You have to have those people on the team. You have to have people that cheer for game days. You have to. Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta keep it. You can't be too serious.
For real.
Yeah, it's good. And
seriousness, what's your favorite memory, either laughing, hating it, within lacrosse, box or field? What's your favorite memory in lacrosse?
I'm gonna go with qualifiers down here in Canada. after our regular season, we have this like little league. It's a 2-weekend league, and it's qualifiers. You play like 2 to 3 games a day, and at that age, obviously you're able to. You're young and your body's still lots of growing, but for it to do that right now, it'd be hectic as all hell to our bodies. So the fact that we did that and grinded that out for a couple of years, those memories will never go away. That's definitely one of my favorite lacrosse memories, playing qualifiers at the athletics.
Absolutely. And let's go right to where he said where he was with Challen Rogers and that's his roommate, and they dictate the music and the mood for the games. Because we all know that there's people on teams that, you know, if the game is, you know, if they're feeling a little bit stiff, they play music or whatever, like, hey man, you heard this song, I want to go and see this guy in concert, passing lines, whatever, trying to loosen the mood or whatever, you know. But the same thing goes for games where it's like, you know, the team doesn't see it as important. Like, people are like messing around, they're dropping passes, like, it's like, hey, let's get these passes right. Like, they dictate like the pace, the mood. Like, Challen Rogers does that, and that's why he's a captain. Latrell does that, and that's why he is like a young guy that's still seen as a veteran. Like, you know, technically I don't even think he's like a young guy anymore. Like, the man's 24. So I'm only saying that because I'm 24 now, I'm in college. I'm really trying to make myself feel better, but he's a grown-ass man. The last question I have for you for today, beyond winning the PLL championship, beyond winning the NLL championship, what is your biggest lacrosse career goal so far?
I think being drafted at the age I was, to be honest. I don't know. Like, I didn't get to go, or I had an opportunity to go NCAA, but then it busted down because of my grades. So then, you know, they always say go to school, get your schooling done, and then, you know, put yourself in a draft for the league. But I did it a little differently. So I was just saying, for me, not going to school and then going into the NLL draft and then the PLL draft a couple of years later, it's just showing you can really do whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be by the book. You know, I still got my schooling in at Brock, didn't go to NCAA, and now I'm here in the league doing my thing, representing my family, you know, the culture. So all that, I would say, just doing it a different way, getting drafted a different way.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, that is one of the biggest low-key flexes, being drafted and not having a college like underneath your thing. That, like, just having high school, one of the hardest things to look at. Like, as like a fan looking at like player profiles, it says no college, it just says high school. Too tough. That is too tough, honestly. So I appreciate you.
Pretty bang. It was the right timing.
Huh?
No, it was just the right timing. It was the right timing, the right moment. You know, the world says everything happens in the right time, so there's proof.
Absolutely. When windows open up, you got to go through them. You got to go through them.
You got to take risks.
I appreciate you, man, for joining me for this little talk real quick. Any more announcements that you guys got going on for, special announcements you want to give us real quick? You know, a little feature, PLL, NLL, anything you want to say?
No, just keep your eyes out on the Archers, man. We got the second back half of the season to go through. The boys are just starting to click. We really feel like it's our time. So as long as we keep playing those 48 minutes and, keep coming together as a click in the Archer world, we'll be all right. So just keep your eyes out for the Archers. And, of course, keep your eyes out on the Toronto Rock in the 2022-2023 season that's coming up. Don't forget about us.
I'm about to get my tickets for sure because I'm right over here in Detroit too, so for sure.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Let's get it.
All right, and I appreciate it. It is definitely a flex that he went straight from high school to the pros. Like, being that young, being on the bus, being around those veterans, that's so cool, but that's probably so nerve-wracking as a young guy. He's probably had to grow up so fast. And he's a dope player because of it. Like, dude, like, you can't even tell dude's 24. Man looks like he's like, he looks like he's about 28. Like, I'm 24, bro. Like, he went an unorthodox way and it paid out big time. Like, and that's why I feel like, if doors open up, like he said, you have to go through them. I was playing in NCAA Tennessee with my brother. I had to redshirt because I wasn't doing good in the classroom. And then Sam graduated and I had the opportunity to transfer. I transferred, I got there. COVID happened, / I also didn't transfer enough credits / I also didn't get one more C, and I did not do well in the classroom again. So I completely understand where this man is coming from. I'm a sinner in the classroom. I'm better though. I'm so much better though. I promise. That's why I'm at this point. Like, I'm graduating this year. I would have graduated last year, but tore my ACL. But that's not why we're here. Thank you, Latrell, for jumping on the show. Thank you for everybody for watching. Tune in next week for some major lacrosse news. You know, I'm just doing it from my room, bro. Like they said, you know, Steve Lacy, you know, he's a Gemini or whatever. He said bare maximum. I'm not a Gemini, but